The Project Gutenberg ebook of The Somnolence of Summers. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. Title: The Somnolence of Summers. Author: Frank N. Stratton. Release date: February 29, 2024. Ebook number 73072. Language: English. Original publication: New York, Street and Smith, 1906. Credits: Roger Frank and Sue Clark. Start of the Project Gutenberg ebook The Somnolence of Summers. The Somnolence of Summers by Frank N. Stratton. In this interesting little tale of the Far West, Mr. Stratton tells how a tenderfoot deliberately connived at the breaking of the law of the land, and possessed an untroubled conscience thereafter in spite of it. "Yes, sir, boss is gone," explained the foreman of Fielding's ranch, as Summers stepped from the buckboard and shook the dust from his clothes. "Him and boys is out after Sonora Jack's gang of cattle rustlers and they'll fix 'em this time. Powerful lot of trouble they've give us last 2 years. Mr. Fielding was mighty sorry you didn't get here in time to go. Thought maybe a manhunt would be somethin' new for you, kind o' brace you up." Summers mentally agreed that the hunting of men, though rather strenuous for an invalid, might prove a novel and exciting diversion from the monotonous pursuit of dollars. "You might possibly see finish, though," the foreman continued. "Tommy Evans just come in, bad hurt, and says boys prize gang up Little Fork, and got most of 'em. They're chasin' Sonora Jack hisself now, and think they'll catch him in Alta Pass right out yonder where you and Fielding killed Bear, when you was here 2 year ago. Fielding sent word by Tommy that if you was here, and wanted to try, you might take roan thoroughbred and gallop over. He's only hoss left on place that don't buck." Summers' eyes glistened. "I'm pretty tired," he said, "but I'll stretch out and rest for an hour, and then, if you'll kindly bring the roan around, I think I'll try it. It'll be a treat to back Dixie once more, even if I miss the finish." When Summers pulled himself up into the saddle, the foreman delivered a parting admonition: "If troubles on when you reach Pass, better not ride too close. Mr. Fielding wouldn't have Dixie hurt for half ranch. Wouldn't ride him hisself for fear he might get crippled in muss." There being no evidence of trouble past, present or prospective when Summers reached the pass, he tethered the roan securely up a little ravine and climbed to a point where he could witness the approach of the chase, provided Sonora Jack had not disobligingly changed his course. After hours of fruitless vigil, Summers caught himself nodding drowsily, roused himself determinately, and nodded again. Unaccustomed to a fiercer torridity than that afforded by a New England climate, he was gradually yielding to the soporific power of a southern sun. With each successive nod his chin sank a little lower, his eyes blinked less resolutely, until the outlines of the foothills melted and sank into the sheen of the distant desert. The ardent, turquoise sky bent low to ward off riotous columns of reeling cactus, the mountains swayed as soothingly as the cradle of long ago, and Summers dozed and dreamed. He was in his State Street office, listening to the ticker, whose insistent clatter steadily swelled to a roar, and as he hurried toward it to watch Amalgamated, the machine burst with a mighty report, and Summers, starting up, became dimly conscious of a limping mustang loping up the pass, carrying a long, lean man, whose face was masked by a paste of sweat and alkali dust. Slipping from the saddle of the panting beast, the man glanced swiftly about, then clambered upward, straight toward Summers, Winchester in hand. With clearing vision, Summers saw beneath the masking dust a face that brought a train of dear and dormant memories, and with an exclamation of delight he sprang to his feet. "Tubby," he cried. "Tubby Haynes. Is it really you?" The lean man lowered the gun that had leaped to his shoulder as Summers arose. "Summers. Bob Summers," he exclaimed, and scrambled up to grasp the outstretched hand. He dropped wearily upon a boulder, wiped his dripping face with the sleeve of a flannel shirt, and stared into Summers' face, amazement and delight shining in his keen eyes. "Good old Scrappy Summers," he murmured. "I can't quite realize that you're way out here, thousands of miles from home." "Visiting Hal Fielding," explained Summers. "You know Fielding, of course, everybody around here does." "I've had occasional dealings with him and got the worst of it," Haynes answered carelessly, fingering the gun at his knee and glancing eastward. "I've heard that he's pretty shrewd," said Summers, with a laugh. "Too keen for me," remarked Haynes. "It takes a mighty good man to get ahead of him and stay ahead." "Then you're in the cattle business, too?" queried Summers. "In a desultory sort of way. Just now I'm thinking of getting out of it, it's too wearing, keeps me too much on the jump." Summers chuckled, and patted the lean man's broad shoulder affectionately. "Same old Tubby," he said. "Always wanted to take things easy. I never could understand why the boys dubbed you Tubby, when sleepy or lazy would have been so much more appropriate. Called me Tubby because I was lean. Just as they named you Scrappy because you never would fight," the other observed. "Why should I fight?" laughed Summers, "when I had such a valiant champion in you?" "Well, you needed a champion," said Haynes, with a kindly gleam in his eyes. "You were about as puny as they made 'em, and fighting was fun for me then." "Remember the time you licked Bully Dormer?" asked Summers, with a musing smile. "Ah, but that was a fight and a licking." "The licking he got wasn't in it with the one old Max Stinger gave me that evening," remarked Haynes, grinning. "Gee, Scrappy. I can feel that birch yet. I reckon old Mac's dead now. Died in the harness. His last words were Omnia Gallia. Remember how Ann used to cry whenever he'd wallop you? I often joke her about it yet." A wistful look sprang to the lean man's eyes. He shot a quick glance at Summers, then gazed dreamily up the pass. "Is she at Fielding's, too, Bob?" he asked softly. "No, I wanted her to come, but she feared the little fellows couldn't stand the long trip." The crippled mustang below them whinnied expectantly. Haynes turned his face eastward. Among the foothills rose a cloud of dust that lengthened westward despite the eastward breeze. Haynes rose to his feet and took Summers' hand. "Goodbye, Bob," he said. "You're not going?" exclaimed Summers. "Why, we've only just begun to talk, and I want you to come." "I'm not going," Haynes interrupted, with an odd smile. "Not for an hour or so yet. But you are, unless you want to reverse the old order of things and fight my battle." He dropped to one knee behind the rocks, picked up the Winchester, and passed a hand over the belt of murderous cartridges. The thud of pounding hoofs arose faintly from the hills below. A horrible suspicion numbed Summers' brain. "Tubby," he gasped. "Dear old Jack, you aren't he?" The lean man looked up into the pallid face, nodded, and smiled grimly. "Bob," he said slowly, "when you see Ann again, I want you to tell her that I remembered her to the last. Will you?" "Jack," Summers cried, "they're more than a mile away yet, there's time for you to escape." "Not on that crippled mustang. They got fresh mounts at Zell's station. No ordinary horse could save me now, else I'd have asked you for years long ago." He balanced the Winchester in his hands, and turned his rigid face away toward the mouth of the pass. "They'd overtake me west of the pass, in the open," he continued. "I prefer to finish the business here. I'll get more of them before they get me than in a running fight." "But if you had," Fielding's roan Sonora Jack looked up impatiently. "Yes, if I had, but I haven't." "Get out now, Bob, you mustn't be caught with me." "Jack," Summers almost screamed, "the roan isn't 100 yards away up that ravine, saddled and bridled, and fresh as a rose." He had seized Haynes by the collar, and was tugging to help him to his feet. "Hurry, for heaven's sake," he cried, as Haynes raced madly toward the ravine, and the echoes of galloping hoofs rang sharply up the pass. Slowly he staggered downward to the trail as Fielding, grim, grimy and perspiring, dashed up at the head of a dozen cowboys. "Glad to see you again, old boy," shouted Fielding, as he sprang from the saddle. "You're in time, we've got him treed." "Which way did he go?" "Who?" asked Summers drowsily, rubbing his eyes. "Who?" "Why, fellow that rode that Mustang. Didn't you see he stopped short, stared, wide-eyed, up the pass, and ripped out an oath?" On a distant ledge, where the trail wound around the face of a cliff, a tall man on a galloping roan was jauntily waving a sombrero toward them. "Sonora Jack and my roan," roared Fielding. I believe it is," stammered Summers, blinking stupidly. "The rascal must have stolen him while I was asleep." "Never mind, Hal, I'll pay while you was asleep," Fielding bellowed. "Did you hear that, boys? Asleep. Asleep." He climbed back slowly into the saddle and turned his tired horse's head eastward. "Back home, boys," he said wearily, with a disgusted glance at the blinking Summers. "It's all off. Maybe sometime we'll learn why an all-wise Providence created greasers, sheepmen, and tenderfeet." Transcriber's note: this story appeared in the February 1906 issue of the Popular magazine. End of the Project Gutenberg ebook. The Somnolence of Summers updated editions will replace the previous one. The old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances, and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start, full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works, by using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg. You agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Electronic Works 1.a. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLOF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying, or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, we hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg, 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark. 1.e.5. Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark license. 1.e.6. You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee, or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7. Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8. You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works provided that, you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark works. 1.e.9. If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1 Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects, such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2 Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs, and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive, or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3 Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4 Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5 Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6 Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the Foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the Foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion, and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs, and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark. Project Gutenberg trademark is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers including obsolete, old, middle-aged, and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, Utah 841-16808-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork, and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways including checks, online payments, and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark electronic works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the U.S. unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks. The Somnolence of Summers, the full Project Gutenberg license.